Hello again, this is Andy from Attack of the Killer podcast with another video update. Once again, I'd like to thank the Patreon subscribers because we grow more awesome because you guys continue to be awesome. So, thank you. This video I'd like to talk about how most of us on the podcast and probably most of the listeners, we collect a lot of things, that are related to the genre, but unfortunately, sometimes we have more crap than we have space. So what I'd like to do right now is show off a lot of my posters that I really, really like that I just do not have frames for and I do not have enough wall space for. So I'll get started with number one. First up, we have the VHS or video release of The Running Man from '88. Got all the reviews there, and where is he? There's Arnie as Ben Richards and Richard Dawson, and if you know anything about him, he was the very first host of Family Feud. I can't remember if it was either Paul Michael Glasser. He was, I can't remember if he was either Starsky or Hutch, but he actually directed this. Also, this was based on a book by Richard Bachman, who is also the other pen name of Stephen King. So, technically, Arnie did a Stephen King movie. And speaking of Stephen King, let's go on to his directorial debut of Maximum Overdrive. Now, this was based on a short story called Trucks, and it was the first movie that he directed, only movie he directed, but I really love this poster. I love, the graphic. You got the Green Goblin Happy Toys truck, which is based, the look of that is based off the Spider-Man villain. And, of course, this was Stephen King's directorial debut, and basically, I think he had a little bit of a cocaine problem at the time, and according to him, upon viewing this movie, it shows. But you know what? I love it. It's one of my favorites. So next up, we have another. Actually, all of these are probably can be considered my favorites, but this one. My first crush when I was 7 years old, Sherilyn Fenn right there. You've got Mr. Tiger Blood himself, Charlie Sheen. Nick Cassavetes, who actually went on to direct The Notebook, if you can believe that. And I have no idea who that is. But this one's a little difficult to find. One sheet like this. One of my favorite movies growing up when in the 80s as a kid. Watched it a whole bunch of times. And it's got Clint Howard in it as Rughead. Got this humongous white boy fro in it. He's a mechanic. It's awesome. And a really, really good soundtrack. But basically, the crow in this Revenge of a Loved One sort of thing, Revenge from the Grave, it kind of echoes this movie a little bit. So, The Wraith. On the back, another one of my favorites that I wish I had up. Near Dark. This is Catherine Bigelow's first film that she directed, who also went on to win an Oscar for The Hurt Locker, I believe. But you have Diamondback, Jesse, and I can't remember Bill Paxton's name in this, but God rest him. We lost a great one there. Not much I can say about this that hasn't already been said. It's an awesome Western road vampire movie that requires multiple views. It's really, really good. And it's got a great soundtrack by one of my favorite soundtrack people from the 80s, Tangerine Dream. But anyway, Near Dark. Next up, we got my most recent acquisition this says The Butterfly Revolution. This is based upon the book by William Butler, but many of you may know this movie by a different title called Summer Camp Nightmare. And Chuck Connors, in the twilight of his career, starred in this, as well as, and I cannot remember his name, but it's John Travolta's nephew is actually in this. And one of the girls that attends the camp actually was the voice of Jem in Jem and the Holograms, that cartoon back in the 80s. This was co-written by Penelope Spheris, and you may know her as the female director of Wayne's World, and also the 3 really good documentaries, The Decline of Western Civilization series, which is, chronicles punk music, and heavy metal and, things of that nature. And this is a really, really good movie. It's a hidden gem. If you ever get a chance, you probably won't find it under this title. It's more likely Summer Camp Nightmare. But the only way to watch it at this point is on VHS or Laserdisc, because it has yet to come out on DVD. But yeah, Penelope Spheris, and it basically kind of looks like an 80s rock video meets Lord of the Flies. I love this movie. Another one. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. And if you don't know what this is about, I don't even know why you're still watching right now. This is just a really great one-sheet from '89 that's got it's a little boogered up on the side, but you've got Danielle Harris, very young Danielle Harris, of course, in her clown outfit. It's just a really, really good graphic. Not my favorite movie in the series of itself, but still just a really great-looking poster. Moving on, sticking with the Halloween series, we have the VHS release of The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 4, but if you look to the side here, we have Kelly Meeker's autograph, Kathleen Kinmont. Cops do it by the book. This is just the classic look of Michael, back from Smith's Grove Asylum, escaping and returning to wreak havoc on, anybody that's halfway related to Laurie Strode. So, another great one. Moving on, another one that I really need to get into a frame. Probably one of the best remakes I have ever seen. Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini. This is the video release of it, and I was able to get Tony Todd's autograph, as well as the director, Tom Savini. I just really like the look of the green and the eyes, and it just really encapsulates what the movie's all about. So, need to get that frame as well. But if I can get Patricia Tallman's on this, it will be complete. Getting towards the bottom of the barrel, another one, sticking with the zombie theme. This is Day of the Dead. I really got to get this frame. It's one of my favorite posters because it tells, it chronically tells the story within the poster. Night, dawn, and now you have day. Unfortunately, we lost one of the actors, Joe Pilato. Rest in peace, Captain Rhodes. But yeah, it's a really, really great visual, and it's probably one of my favorites, and of course, some of my podcast mates will disagree with me because they have a hard-on for this one, and this one's good, but still, this one is the one I prefer. Alright, moving on to the last one, and one of my favorites, because I keep like to say that, all these are my favorites. But Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. I've had this poster for way too long, and I cannot believe I've yet to frame it. But, great movie, and like I said about the Halloween series, if you don't know what this one's about, I don't even know why you're watching.
not really much can be said about this. Everybody should know this visual, and if I'm introducing it to you, you're welcome. Yeah, Jason Voorhees at his first hockey wearing best, right here, Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Also, this may require a part 2 because I have even more than this, and I have even less space at this point. But thanks again for watching, and we'll be back with more video updates in the future.